right, guys, we're starting in 3-4 minutes. We're doing algo trading today with MyTradingBuddy Kyle. His brand is MyTradingBuddy. Share this around. 50K challenge as usual for Maven. The best questions for Kyle. Check. Hello, guys. Welcome. Okay, so jumping right into it. Market's been absolutely crazy lately. We got a new month here, so a lot of volatility as we came into the open. Let me actually throw on. I got my screen share here. Actually, we can throw on screen share. I forgot to turn that on here. But we got Kyle with us today from MyTradingBuddy. I believe your brand is MyTradingBuddy, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Right on. Let me throw just quickly. We got a quick little long here. I think you guys can actually see it here. We are taking a long off of kind of these lows of the day. Hopefully we can get some retest and let that thing rally, because we did have a nice close on that 4-hour. Last week was, decently closed. We came up a little bit on the NASDAQ at the end of the week. So this is a really great area for us to start looking for longs, for longer term swings even. Bitcoin looking, the close was not great. So potentially we're seeing rejections kind of in this zone. Let me throw Bitcoin on the Coinbase chart here. You have a potential rejection kind of in this area because we came down. The monthly candle, not the best candle, but nothing to be too concerned below until we get below 100K. 100K, 102 is probably the main area that we'd want to be looking for because of that previous sort of swing high that we'd like to be rallying off of. Bitcoin's looking all right. Hopefully we can get another pump out of that and let the market soar a little bit. Gold soaring as usual because the markets are coming down. So gold's going to be going up naturally. Now, that being said, let's make the cameras here a little bit bigger. There we go. So Kyle, introduce yourself, man, after we just gave a quick little update on the market.
Yeah, so my name's Kyle, and I'm a developer / trader, and the way I've now started to trade in the market is by really leveraging AI's help on analyzing this vast amounts of data, and patterns on the chart, and really helping me understand what's going on faster within a market. And so it's evolving, algo, it's trying to understand the deeper algo of the system, specifically, all these large institutions that use this algorithm trading, kind of how my whole thinking is, how do I use programming AI to see the pattern that's trying to form based on this algo trading. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how long have you been trading? And how and more specifically, how long have you been running with AI and algorithms?
Yeah, so I've been trading only for 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still relatively new. Obviously, I've been, I would say, day trading for 6 months.
Yeah.
I've been trading a little longer than that, off and on, but for like full time, 6 months. And these new tools with AIs come out. It allows for pretty advanced understanding of data if you code it right.
Yeah, cool. And so can you, I know these are all the important questions that everyone watching is going to want to know, because I think AI trading and algo trading is kind of the way the meta is going for day trading now, because you have to be able to program it systematically and fast enough that you can, kind of compete with the other bots and the hedge funds and whatnot, right? So can you break down in a little bit more detail, like what the algo is actually doing? I think you told me in chats that you're executing, but the algo is not executing. It's just helping you.
Yeah, it's just helping me. So the way I'm currently doing it is I'm running a bunch of screenshots into an AI, and there's different perspectives that I want to see. So, for example, if I want to see a volume perspective, make sure I have the volume bars showing, the volume profile showing, and maybe some, VWAP and different indicators as well. And I'm sharing this with the AI so that it can then run a volume analysis. Now, if you want to do, this is all depending on your style, but say you like trend and structure, have a very clear chart with showing the trend and structure for however long you want to trade, maybe 2 months of data, and send that to the AI. And the AI is just able to quickly go through all the data so fast, and do mathematical pattern and give you back a very good idea of where support is, resistance is, maybe look for entries.
Okay.
And that's how I'm doing it.
So it's using you would base your entries off of just kind of support and resistance, and then you'd be buying kind of the lows, selling the high resistances, correct?
Correct. Or shorts, looking for shorts as well. So yeah.
Sure. Do you say you trade on any asset basically with this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. How does it find the support and resistance? Like where is it drawing these levels? Is it using the candles, or is it using some sort of indicator, or you know, are you modifying it constantly, or what?
So it's an interesting system. So mine was based on how I saw good results, and to give you a longer answer, if you show like 3 months of data, the support and resistance might be in a different place than if you show the last 3 days. So it's just mostly based off where the liquidity sweeps are, where there's a bunch of liquidities stacked up, and it's able to analyze this chart patterns and also volume patterns and give a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. So volume patterns and liquidity sort of areas, right? So I'm just wondering, do you have any sort of like, are you just using the chart simple for like liquidity? So if I'm looking at the chart here, hopefully you can kind of see my screen here. But like, let's say, because traditionally somebody might say, hey, there's liquidity below, you know, these levels here, right? And then would it be drawing based off of those swing lows and then look for entries based off of that, or are you using something more advanced than that?
Yeah, roughly. That's the gist of it. Obviously, there's different perspectives. Like I said, there's about 10 different perspectives. If you're looking at a smart money calculation here, this is maybe they've accumulated pretty low, and then now they're probably distributing up top, and they eventually maybe they're stacking up some shorts right here, and they want to target a liquidity pool down low. So the AI suggestion might be target a liquidity pool down low with a short, and kind of if the volume shows that they're like distributing right here and then also slowly accumulating all the shorts, then it will say, target a liquidity pool down below.
Interesting. Okay, so I know because this is all kind of new for me as well, so I'm going to be asking maybe some beginner questions, and hopefully that does help the audience as well. So let me see, like if we're looking at the chart here, right? You've got, let's say that this was a liquidity pool, right? And you've drawn it based off of potentially, you know, kind of this range highs, and you say, hey, we just targeted that. What you'd then be looking for is volume to be increasing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then a shift from total longs to total shorts would be slowly increasing, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then from there, that's going to give you the indication that says, hey, it looks like they're distributing, right? They're leaving their longs, they're shifting over to the shorts at an area of interest, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yes, that's correct.
And then you would just target kind of the zone on the bottom, or, you know, halfway or something like that, or what?
Yeah, so you can look for it basically there's a couple different points, take profit areas that the AI or the system might offer. One would be for sure at the top of this last if you like right around there.
Yeah.
Like if it was a short,
Yeah.
And then obviously in the deeper pool, which is the below that low right there.
Yeah, cool. So my only wonder is, like, how would it draw your target for something that is such an explosive move up, right? Would it target way down here? Or would it use something else, like maybe just here, or what?
Yeah, so sometimes it does look for Fibonacci levels
Okay.
on a retracement. So it's a combination of Fibonacci, maybe some fair value gap stuff, and and then also liquidity pool. So if there's a alignment of all of these,
Yeah.
then that would be a very high probability. So one thing I guess will make more sense is that there is no emotions with these like AI systems. It's just going off what is the highest probability of success. So it's just all probability. It just wants to be right via probability. It doesn't mean it's always right, but yeah, it gives you a good chance.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Let me just kind of scroll through some questions too, because I think we got a basic understanding of it. Question for Kyle: in algo trading, how do you make sure the risk? Let's see, right? The risk control adapts when the market volatility suddenly changes, right? So basically, in short, like how are you managing your risk on something like that then?
Yeah, so I guess it depends on how he was building his bot. So there's two ways. One, I tend to there's two ways to use AI, right? One, you can code a bot, and then you can have within it the volatility metrics coded wise, and if it reaches a certain high level of volatility, you tell the AI bot to stop or act a certain way. Um,
Okay.
Now, the way I do it is that I'm just running a lot of analysis of a certain trading instrument, and then I will have my so say the analysis says when it hits say this level right here,
Hmm.
be prepared for a short. And so I have my trading view, turned on with when this number hits
Hmm.
to prepare for a short.
Yeah.
And then you use your own eyes, what's kind of forming here, like a head and shoulders, or how's the volume looking.
Okay.
So when you combine both, it makes it more powerful than just having a bot.
Nice. And I assume you're finding relative success with that.
Yeah, so far.
And now my question off of that is, how much, does your own sort of interpretation either like, I guess, bog you down, or, does your own eyes mess with you ever, and then just, mess you up, or are you able to follow the rules pretty easy with algo trading like that?
So it's been 80% of the time, I would say my own thinking gets in the way of
Yeah.
or is wrong, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
AI was right. And then 20% of the time, maybe I was right and the AI was wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
So interesting enough that,
yeah.
maybe, being only 6 months into it, you're still kind of gaining that confidence that, hey, I do have a system that's building in place, but you keep like that. That's the biggest plight of the trader, right? Is, their own eyes deceive them, their own emotions kind of deceive them, and I guess you're kind of leveraging the fact that I can think less, right, while using the same smart money concepts, right, and then make fewer mistakes that other traders are making.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Um, cool. So, give me before I jump into a couple more questions, give me like your background a little bit. Like you say, do you have are you from programming sort of world, or how did you get into this?
My background?
Yeah, like how did you get into trading and algo trading specifically, I suppose? Are you a programmer?
Yeah, so I'm a programmer. I'm a developer
Yeah.
by trade, and that's how I earn money. I've uh, been around the trading industry, worked some fintech companies,
Yeah.
and doing some development work. And with the rise of AI, it's only been 2 years and maybe a year and a half of when like the real good AI stuff has come out.
Yeah.
And so now things have changed, and there's just some very interesting things that you can do with mathematically with AI, and trading is all, math and patterns and stuff.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, just a little bit further, I see a question here. It says basically, what language do you recommend? I'm gonna reframe that a little bit to say, what tools did you use and what languages did you use to program this? Is it just PineScript through TradingView?
So I have a different system. Like one is through TradingView, the previous bots and stuff. But the stuff that I'm working on now is just passing in these AI images or these images into the AI. And this uses different AI systems, some that are, structured just for day trading, thinking wise. And then, so that's using Python, some Node.js, etc.
Yeah.
If you do something within TradingView, yeah, Python is great. That's one of the best ones for AI stuff and trading. Yeah.
Cool. I'm seeing a lot. So the chat is asking all its normal questions that they tend to just ask for everyone. I'm trying to specifically pick questions that are revolving around, sort of your specialty. I had one there for a moment. Anyways, there was one that said, kind of, what is your take on, AI, like algo trading in the market? Do you think it's actually beneficial for the market? Is it populating with more volume, so it makes it easier for traders, or is it actually making it worse for your retail trader? And just kind of general speculation on that, like what like I know you're liking it because you're using it, but do you think it's net negative or net positive? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. So once again, I code a lot with AI, and do trading with these AIs and stuff, and it's getting scary at some points on how smart it is. So it's almost like if you're not using some sort of system with AI, then you could be not helping yourself. Like, at least help it like analyze, what's going on to double clarify your thinking. I just think it's going to be an interesting time. I don't have like a straight answer if it's good or bad at the moment. I just think there's going to be like a lot of retail can almost compete with these hedge funds, because before, in my opinion, hedge funds and big institutions, they had spent millions of dollars to build these algorithm trading systems.
Yeah.
And now, anyone with the laptop has access to these API systems, which are AIs, and they can, really build their own, maybe mini version of what these hedge funds have. And at least, like, either they can just trade off this data or build some bots, but it at least gives them a chance to compete with the big players, or at least, or they know how the big players might be thinking about the market.
Yeah.
If they try to code something similar to what they have. Yeah.
Interesting. That's actually a really good point, because I didn't really think about it that way. Like these firms have crazy amounts of money, and the fact that AI can come in, like they're gonna have better AIs, of course, but at least you can program something without knowing how to program.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried the other day, actually, because we were thinking about AI and algo trading, as I tried to just plug into ChatGPT, hey, code me something in Pine script that, you know, draws me my levels or whatever sort of thing, right? Because I wanted to see if I could get a script that helps me identify my levels based off my strategy a little bit easier, right? And it was full of bugs and it barely worked. And I even have a degree in you know, programming sort of stuff, and it's been years though. But I couldn't. Just quickly, I suppose, in one day, I couldn't get anything that was anything of use, right? And so, I guess, what sort of advice and where would you go in order to start programming and coding these systems for yourself, being somebody with not much experience, right? Like ChatGPT is clearly not the answer, right?
Yeah. So when it comes to AI system, I mean, ChatGPT is great for everyday tasks. And if you're using their API, then it is good for coding. But I tend to like Claude, which is another AI system for actually coding.
Okay.
And if you want to get very specific in building these Pine scripts, you might want to download a thing like Cursor, which is you know, it's very coding related, but Cursor is a code editor, code IDE, and it has all these AIs integrated into it. So you can use ChatGPTs, you can use Claude's, you can use Google's, and that way you can find out which one of these AI systems can code the best Pine script for you.
Gotcha.
That's what I would recommend to do. Is if you want to get very serious about it, I would download Cursor, pay the $40, and then try to code it with these different AI systems. Your scripts.
Sorry, say what Cursor is again.
Cursor, it's a coding tool, a coding editor.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. And then using Claude or something, and then Cursor is going to edit it.
Claude is an AI.
Yeah.
It's API. Cursor is a code editor tool. It's so if you're ever building an app, you have a coding editor software thing, and it has all your files and your folders, and then within Cursor is like a chat, like the same thing you see on ChatGPT, but you can just switch to whatever AI you want to chat with, and then it will write code.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Hopefully that's some inspiration for people to start kind of experimenting. Cool. Let's jump back into the questions. You know, this trade is, you know, first of all, we got a trade running here. Not great, just kind of trickling back down, but that 4-hour close is really, really nice. And we do have some solid weekly levels here. So potentially on the NASDAQ right now, we see a little bit lower lows. I want to know, actually, before we jump back into the questions, is your bot running right now? Could we get it running?
Yeah, we can do some testing if you'd like. Yeah.
I would be keen to see what it shows on the current NASDAQ market and see if anything correlates to kind of what we're looking at here, because I'm a buyer all in this zone currently, right, all the way down to there, right? Maybe give a little bit more room here. We got just a micro trade going right now, and then I'd be a seller. I'd be a seller up in these levels here, these yellow lines here, right? Because those are significant levels for me, and I'm just curious to see if it correlates to kind of your liquidity levels and whatnot that it's drawing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so if you want to show your screen, there's a share button there. You can click that and then share the screen, and I'll just swap over between the charts.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Are you ready for me to swap over?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Show on screen. There we go. Cool.
Okay, hopefully you can see it.
Yeah, so what we got here?
Okay.
Nice.
This is, you do NASDAQ, right?
I do the NASDAQ, correct? Yeah.
Okay.
The CME NASDAQ.
start
Nice.
a new chat. I did one a little while ago and it was saying a short, but let's
So you have a full dashboard and everything, which is cool for this, eh? Makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it makes it. So for example, what time frame were you looking at?
Let's look at the 15.
15-minute? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll just come in here. There's different ones. This one is just a chart analysis one.
Okay.
It's going to take like 30 seconds, so let me just send it to the system.
Yeah, everything's going to take a little bit of time. That's perfectly fair.
Yeah, so I sent a bunch of this data to the system because if you have the better the data, the better the results can be from the AI.
Sure.
So yeah, it's going to take about 30 seconds or so.
And while it's loading there, there's a question: has your bot ever been on losing streaks, and how do you handle it? Do you just turn it off, I assume?
Yeah, you turn it off and you rethink, what's going wrong. So this is probably, so many tinkering I've done with this over the last 6 months, and so it has been, in the beginning it was wrong. It was still winning more than it was wrong, but it was still wrong. And you turn it off and you figure out what's going wrong, and then you code a new version.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah, just keep adapting the strategy, kind of like how you would with your mind, right? Okay, it looks like it loaded up there.
Yeah. So exactly. So
so it's telling you to short.
Yeah, it's telling me in short, and then it will explain its reasoning in a second.
Okay. Completely the opposite of what I'm doing. You potentially have made some money actually off of that rally back up.
Yeah, so it's pretty much not 23,100, and once it
down to 23,100. Wait, sorry. Oh, entry zone 23,100-ish. Okay, so that's the current price, and then take profit at 970, right? So what's interesting is if I switch back to my screen right now, you can see 970 is the exact level that I have marked down, which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then you'd be shorting just down to here, right?
Yeah.
Shooting for that next level. Which is interesting because that's kind of the next level that I want to be a buyer, right? Is I bought in this zone and then I like to add to it, right? And then hopefully rally off of, because that is a really significant level for me at least, right?
Yeah, so
we'll switch back to yours.
That was a 15-minute. So if you looked at something else for the day wise, then it probably make a lot of sense that it's going to go down and maybe reverse here. We'll see.
Take profit 226, right? So 26 is right where I have just a stop kind of loosely placed. Interesting. And then would you like replug this in every hour or something and see how it adapts, because it might change over time?
Yeah. So it's but what it kind of does is that it stacks up an AI trading idea. So it wanted this range 100 go down to 2374, which already hit, and then maybe 23,026, 26 down here.
Now, I'd be curious to see if you threw it on a higher time frame. If you let's maybe run it on the 4 hour or something and see,
Yeah.
because I'm relatively more on the more longer term sort of stuff usually. 4 hour and daily and weekly sort of levels. But let's do the 4 hour, because that for me the 4 hour really likes to determine the direction of the day. That first 4 hour candle. So let's run that one. And then I'll ask you another question here we got from Scores. It's a pretty good question. When designing the algo, do you what do you prioritize? When you know, is there any significant thing that you try to prioritize in the algorithm, like you know, I guess consistency, or you know, day in day out profit, or just maximum profit, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, well, with this one I'm showing you with, this is mostly just based on smart money concepts. So I'm just trying, you know, I don't have millions of dollars to trade with, so I'm just trying to see what the big players are going to do, and that's how I'm coding this related thing. So yeah.
Okay,
So
did it load there?
yeah, this is the 4 hour.
Okay, so it says to short from 23,150, which is just a little bit higher, right?
Yeah,
That's actually my long entry, and then go down to 22, just under 20. So 20. It's the same pretty much, is it not? Just slightly wider, the entry and the target, correct?
yeah. The take profit 2 is definitely larger. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's looking at a lot more data. So
how far back would it be looking?
well, you can see right here, I sent in this image from September 2nd to the 15th.
Okay.
And this is totally up to you know, the style that you want to do. So if I did this back to, what's it called, August 5th, 1 month, it might give me a different perspective. So for example, we can run this.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, to answer the question before, I'm trying to get like at least a 50 to 100 point wins for trades for the Nasdaq in particular.
Okay, so yeah, that's not a super significant. You prefer kind of the intraday stuff then, eh?
Yeah, right now it's just intraday. Yeah.
Right on. Cool. Now let's talk, because this is, you know, obviously Maven is a prop firm. How does this manage on prop firms? Does it matter? Is it the exact same, because you're just kind of taking trades based off of advice?
How does this manage for a prop firm? Or sorry,
Yeah, like, would you trade this any differently for a prop firm to a personal account?
So obviously you need to be aware of your risk. It's like if you have a daily drawdown, because I've tried to use this on some prop firm challenges.
Yeah.
And what has got me was I forgot about the daily drawdown, or like, you know, I didn't read the rules good enough or something.
Fair.
And so you just have to be more cautious of your risk reward, or how much your drawdown can be and how much you can risk for a position. So it does help you with that. You know, it will provide you a risk reward, and you can talk with it as well. And so it would help, you know, you quickly calculate, how large a trade you should make, and does this match your challenge and stuff like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what are we looking at right now?
So this was an example, is that I wanted to show you when I sent in a month of 4 hour. Now it was saying, it likes more of a long, like a quick little long. So
Yeah,
if it does hit this 2300, that's pretty.
2,300 is more or less the current price. Yeah.
Then there
23.
might be a bounce back up to, but then
only like a micro little thing, which is interesting to me because like if I throw on my chart here, I'm seeing from 20 to 80 basically. So it's basically saying, hey, long these lows, right? Which is, I guess, your liquidity's range low here, right? And then you're saying only go like a couple points, right? And that to me that sort of trade is a I guess, yeah, it did say scalp, so it is such a ridiculously short trade in my opinion. And we'll jump back to yours. Does it give you any I guess you don't have it there anymore. Does it give you any sort of stop loss positioning?
yeah, it does.
What does it say for the stop on there?
Well,
Stop loss.
yeah,
Yeah.
980. It's pretty tight stop loss. Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny enough. It's like, okay, so let's jump back to mine. Let me throw that back on. Okay, and then that would literally be, it would be like a sort of 1R sort of setup, right? Just for a scalp right there. Because I think basically what you're trying to do is enter just below that low, come back in, retest the range, and then before it drops down even further, right? It is interesting to see how it's functioning, because
Yeah.
these ultimately end up being levels that people take profit on, right? And that makes a lot of sense to me. Is when you lose a level, right? And we've just lost pretty significant on the 15, which is unfortunate. But they tend to, let's say you lose one level, right? They tend to shoot for the next leg down, right? Which would be either the candle bodies or the wick, depending on where people take their profit. So if you're in a short here, people tend to target that sort of zone, right? As their target, right? So if you take a short here, if you did decide, and we actually did draw the level out here perfectly this morning. We decided not to take the short, and we're just going for the long, but we'll see how that runs. Anyways, cool. Let's see if we can maybe jump on some questions. That's really, really interesting. So there's an interesting question here. Have any prop firms given you any issues because you're using a system like this? But I guess because it's manually traded, they wouldn't even know.
Yeah, so far, I've traded just futures, and
Yeah.
as when I read the rules, it's as long as you're placing the trades yourself, then you're in the rules still. So I haven't run into any issues yet. Yeah. Since I place the trade, I buy and sell, and I always confirm. It's more like a research.
Okay.
aspect.
Let's see. Walk me through just kind of in brief detail, like how you would go about, entering a trade. You'd plug in the chart. Would you use the 15? Would you how do you pick what chart to plug in?
That's up to you. What I've gotten the best results like a 30 minutes pretty strong.
Yeah.
Obviously 1 hour is pretty good too, but if you're intraday, like 30-minute will give you a good one. And it's best to run multiple. So what we did before is I don't think I have all this on or whatever. What we did before was we saw the levels, what levels to watch out for. And that's just like really what's the best thing to do is like, okay, if I shorted here, once it hits, 2320, watch it for like a bounce. So it could hit 2320. And then up here is like, okay, if this is way back up here, but like if you saw anything slowing down, wait for a retracement down here, and then 960. It at least gives you all the levels to watch out for. And I do like 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. And then when I choose the trade, I do 30-minute and then maybe a 15-minute to confirm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're getting kind of a bigger picture of the whole market, and then telling yourself kind of, you're building some sort of story that might go down in your head, right?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Cool. So how would you like to, further this project, like what's the next steps for you?
Oh, this project? Yeah. So I'm thinking of, allowing it out to the public, and I'll be launching it. It's already in the soft launch, but pretty much, it's to kind of help traders make the better decisions, and lose less money and make more winning trades. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's the next step, is to fine tune it more. And
got it. What would you recommend, I guess, for a beginner? Would you recommend that they go into algo trading, or just a freehand trade, I suppose?
If you know how to code or use AI systems,
Yeah.
I would do algo trading. And but if you don't know how to code and you just like to be in the charts and see chart patterns, see certain patterns forming and volume forming, then I would recommend having, it's more of a sidekick role. An AI or algo can be like a sidekick to you, where they're confirming ideas of yours, or helping you come up with some ideas. But yeah, you can find some great stuff on YouTube, and just start really. If you want to code something algo, you just have to hop into, go into ChatGPT, even though sometimes it will be a little buggy, but you can get a first basic version and start to get your feet wet. And then from there, hop into a cursor and start building something out, like very technical. Once you understand how all these levels work.
Okay. Yeah, cool, man. I don't have any other questions off the top of my head. I've already picked a winner for the giveaway there from one of the questions that we asked you. What I like to ask a question at the end here for most guests. I forget what it was now. What just general piece of advice would you recommend to somebody getting into algo trading? You basically just said that, hey? Or is there
I'm
anything?
gonna trade. Yeah, start small. Just build something very, very quick and start testing it. And then you're just going to learn so much from just building something really small and seeing how many like bugs it has, and then you improve it, and just one step at a time, improve.
I know what you mean. Like if you have a big bot that you want to like, you know, buy, like let's say you want to buy at a liquidity zone after there's a reversal, right? You would code one thing at a time. You'd first draw the liquidity zone, and then you would draw you know, code the thing that allows you to determine if there's a reversal, and then you would code the thing for the buying, right? One step at a time, right? Rather than coding it all at once, right?
Yeah, just one step at a time. Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. Thanks for taking the time and talking with us. That's really interesting. We've never had algo trading on the channel before. How can people find you?
You can find me on X here or YouTube, but it's MyTradingBuddy. MyTradingBuddy, you'll find me.
There you go. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. We do this every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. EST. The winner of the 50K Maven challenge is going to be posted in the Maven Discord. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Kyle, for taking the time. We'll see you around. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Hunter, for having me.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Cheers. Bye-bye.